And right now we get a chance to chat with football royalty. He was supposed to join us yesterday, but we had a little hang up there. Four-time Super Bowl champ, 1990 Hall of Fame inductee. Of course, the pride of Penn State, 13th overall back in 1972. Franco Harris. Mr. Harris, how are you? Tiki and Tierney.
Hello, guys.
How you doing?
Hey, Tiki. Hello. Nice to say hello to you guys.
Yeah, no, good to catch up with you. How you been? Things are good?
Yeah. Things are well. It's amazing. You mentioned 1972. Just think like, wow, that's a long time ago.
What were you doing on draft day, Franco?
Draft day, I was just in my apartment, alone, and wasn't sure if the phone was going to ring, and it rang, and that was a complete surprise. And I was especially surprised that I was the first running back taken. That came as I was shocked with that. And then I have to admit I wasn't real happy that I was drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mm-hmm. That was kind of like, the bottom of the list for me. I did not want to come to Pittsburgh. And
wow.
Why not? Why not, Franco? Were they bad at that? They couldn't have been bad.
They couldn't be. From 1933, when they were founded, to 1971, they had the worst record ever in NFL history. They had more losses than any team in history. They had fewest points scored, most points scored against. They were the worst team ever.
So they were basically the Cleveland Browns, is what you're saying.
Well, we're talking back then.
No, I know.
Now, Cleveland could be in that category now. But.
That's true. So, Franco, when you say you were in your apartment, are you? I would imagine you mean an off-campus apartment at Penn State, or had you already gone left campus and moved? Was that part of school?
Our senior year, we were allowed to have an apartment, but only our senior year.
Gotcha.
Unless you were in a fraternity, you could live in a fraternity or in the dorms, but you weren't allowed to have an apartment until your senior year.
Gotcha. You know what's amazing? We were supposed to have yesterday, and it's all good, but we were doing some research to prepare to chat with you. Maybe something that people don't necessarily know. I mean, we know how many Super Bowls you won and how great you were and all that, but I wanted to go back and at least familiarize myself with the 1972 draft a little bit because, as we said, that's when Franco was drafted. And it's amazing that it took 13 picks before a quarterback, 10 picks before a quarterback was drafted. And you had tight ends. You had an offensive guard, Roy Smith, go 8th overall. Man, forget about the way you found out who drafted you, but the actual players and positions.
Quarterback? I can't remember.
The quarterback was Jerry, I don't know if it's Taggy or Tag, by Green Bay. Remember that name, Franco? Jerry Tag? No? I guess he wasn't that good. Jerry Tag, Tagge. And then right behind you, John.
Jerry Taggy.
Taggy, yep. And then right behind you, a couple of spots, John Reeves by the Eagles. I'm sure you remember John Reeves a little bit, right?
What can I say? No, I don't.
No, I got you.
And oh boy.
So what?
You think about the draft, and the draft was so different back then. I mean, as I said, it was just me, no hoopla.
Yeah.
No team called me, didn't talk to anybody, didn't know anything.
Really?
It was just really not much hoopla about anything.
I'm trying to look at the other running backs. You said you were surprised that you were the first running back taken. Jeff Kinney was a running back taken that year. Bill Thomas was a running back taken that year. But you were a fullback.
Well, and my teammate at Penn State, Lydell Mitchell, went to the Baltimore Colts, and Ed Marinaro went to Minnesota. I'm not sure what round. I can't remember what round Ed was drafted in.
Yeah, you were the fullback. How did you get drafted above the tailback on your squad at Penn State? Because Lionel Mitchell was in the second round at 48, and here you are.
Right.
You were drafted at number 13 in the first. I mean, what, that's it. It's
Hey,
odd.
hey,
It's
hey,
interesting.
Listen, no one was more surprised than me. Believe me. You know, no one. It's quite strange, quite strange. But you know what? It all worked out great. So what can I say?
It couldn't have worked out better. Are you kidding me? One of the greats of all time, Franco Harris. So, Franco, Tiki and I did a radio tour this past fall. We hit a bunch of cities, and one of them was Pittsburgh. So when we flew in, I saw the statue of you with the Immaculate Reception, and took a picture of it, put it on Twitter. And I'm trying to figure out if it was maybe raised a few inches. I know you've been asked this a million times. Did you 100% catch that ball before it hit the turf? Honestly.
My lips are sealed.
Incomplete.
And you know what? You have to ask the sports detective. That's what they should find out next.
Well, you know, I know you're pushing that. It's a pretty interesting premise for the show. Tell us a little bit more about it, Franco.
Oh, it's you know, like I guess you could say that there are, you know, a few holy grails in sports, and people always talk about the ball from the Immaculate Reception, and that has quite a story within itself that guess people have to watch the show to find out more about it. But Jim Baker is the guy that has this football, and so the sport detectives want to find out, is it the football of the Immaculate Reception, or was the football traded out by the refs at that time? Because between the touchdown and the extra point, there was 15 minutes.
Oh, wow.
A lot of turmoil, a lot going on.
I didn't realize it was that long.
And so the question is that the ball?
And the Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mr. Harris. Go ahead.
And then you know, there was a big fight for the ball of the extra point, and it's interesting that they allow people to jump on the field to get the ball and all that kind of stuff. It's, I mean, just crazy.
It was definitely a different era, and I'll tell you, just to get some more of the info, and we'll put this out for you on Twitter, because I am really in with this premise. This seems pretty cool. It's on the Smithsonian Channel. The flag that Jim Craig draped over his shoulders, Miracle on Ice, Muhammad Ali's 1960 Olympic gold medal, the ball that Will Chamberlain used when he dropped 100 points in Hershey, PA. And one of the co-hosts is an FBI agent, along with Lauren Gardner, who's a TV sports reporter. This seems like a pretty cool premise. I'm going to watch this, Franco. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, well, you know what? Like just to get answer to things, because there's always these questions that have in the back of your mind, and like now having people delving deep into this and trying to find these answers, and there's two of us on this show. It's myself with the Immaculate Reception, and it's Jim Brown's championship ring, and
it's a pretty good backfield.
Yeah, so being connected with Jim Brown in this way, that's pretty cool too.
Yeah, I'm sure he feels the same way. We will watch Sunday, the premiere, May 1st at 9 Eastern, the Immaculate Reception. As Franco said, Jim Brown's ring as well, trying to locate it, get the story behind it. God bless you, Franco. I know we'll talk to you down the road, but it's been an honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Hey, have a beautiful weekend, and it's pretty exciting because, once the draft happens, it's like football season has begun.
It never ends.
True.
Come on, Mr. Harris. It never ends.
Yep.
You know that.
Appreciate you, Franco.
Tiki.
Be well.
Hey.
There he is.